Hi there, wonderful humans. I'm back again to talk about compassion fatigue. And this time, I want to inspire and empower you to find ways to look after yourself and mitigate the impacts of the work, and also to bounce back from compassion fatigue when you spot it coming your way. Each of us has our own unique way of compassion fatigue impacting us, and so therefore it's natural to me that each of us will need to find our own unique way to mitigate those impacts and to bounce back. But I think the one thing that's central is that none of us need an extra job, an extra chore, an extra thing that takes away from our time. I believe that all of the things we do to maintain our professional instrument need to simultaneously support our personal life, to move us more towards the person that we want to be, who we want to be, and how we want to be in our lives. Last time I spoke, I introduced the idea of moving away from self-care and moving towards the notion of self-maintenance. So I took that a little bit further this week, and I started thinking about how machinery is maintained in other industries. And I thought to myself, there's 5 steps. There's the cooling down slowly. There's the cleaning and checking. There's the refueling, of course. There's the repairs. And there's the preventative maintenance. So I invite you to think about it that way and see how that fits for you. So let's think about cooling down slowly. Perhaps you're in the habit of going from professional self to personal self, or parenting self, or partnering self in a really kind of instant way like that. So let's have a little bit of a think about how you can gently slow the engine down. You don't want to have an expensive piece of machinery that's gone from hot to cold. We want to look after it gently. If you're working in an office, you drive home from work or you walk home from work might do that for you. But if you find yourself working from home right now, you might have to think about that a little more carefully. For me, that's been the simple practice of wandering into the garden after work for a little bit before I'm communicating with others, or going for a gentle walk before and after work. But what will it be for you? And then the cleaning and the checking. It's really easy for me to just hop from the office and jump into being in the house and watching TV or eating dinner, instead of being really honest with myself and spending a little bit of a moment to notice what it is that I'm carrying with me from the day and how it is that I can feel it. So recently I've really started to be a little bit more mindful and a little bit more disciplined with myself. And the cleansing and releasing for me will be things like stretching, a little bit of African style dance movement to move things out of my body, my favourite, scribbling with my non-dominant hand. And recently I've developed a bit of a meditation to support me to mindfully release the feelings and emotions that I'm carrying at the end of the day. Wonder what it'll be for you. Then let's look at the refueling. My meditation practice has been really paramount for me in recovering from this recent brush with compassion fatigue. And alongside that releasing of emotions meditation, I've also added in a kind of refueling of the heart, which I often can literally feel getting tired when I've been working a lot. This week, in addition to that, I also took some time to read some of the books, the therapy book by Pat Ogden to be specific, that I've been wanting to learn from, because I was getting another symptom of compassion fatigue, that familiar feeling of feeling like I don't have any skills. So there's a couple of ways that I've been refueling. Fun is also a great way for me to refuel. Being with people that I don't have to be therapeutic with, that I don't have to kind of mind my tone of voice or worry about the face that I'm pulling. Okay, so then next we want to be doing some repairing. So checking in to see what might need to be repaired. If you've been experiencing vicarious trauma, that might mean going to see a trauma therapist and having some of those recently developed methods to have that trauma released from your brain and your body. For me, that would be some EMDR, but I believe havening is also great, and there's a variety of other methods. But perhaps it's more like a trip to the osteo or a massage or some acupuncture for others. So thinking about what that would be for you. And then moving on to preventative maintenance, the final step. What would preventative maintenance look like for you? I mean, for me, there's the obvious thing of making sure that I've got lunch breaks scheduled in and making sure I've got space in between my clients to maybe do some drawing, maybe do some moving or stretching, maybe walk outside. I also like to have a beautiful environment, and when I was working in organisations where I had less control over that, that preventative maintenance would also involve the clothes that I wore to work, my favourite necklace, or a groovy, quirky, worky outfit with heaps of buttons and a tie, whatever it was that kind of supported me in my professional self, but also held me in my personal centre at the same time. Okay, I hope this has been useful for you, and I hope that you can develop some methods for yourself. What would it look like for you, those 5 stages of maintaining and taking care of your professional tool?